Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms. Special shout out to the sponsors. This is Errol, our co-host. Living his best life, life in 7D. We are reporting live and direct, family, from 7D Reality, sending you all the love, all the blessings. We have activated our main channel, Dr. Mumbi Show, where we are putting the news because we're in a revolutionary season, family. Whether the West is writing about it, whether they're talking about it, whether they're not talking about it, regardless of what people are saying about it, if you know, you know. So definitely check out the primary channel. Make sure you're subscribed to both. And family, today's show is actually sponsored by Greg Holland, a wonderful author who has written a book called Trying Times: From the Pyramids to the Projects. And you can find this book on Amazon. I'll definitely put a link in the descriptions below. And basically the science behind the book is the use of poetry. When I read it, I saw it as codes that trigger certain memories in us and help us recollect and put together our story, because the only reason the so-called oppressor has been ahead of us, or the enemies of our souls has always been one step ahead of us, is because they have been controlling and manipulating the narrative. And so, he looks at the consequences of what happens when the culture of our people gets decimated and replaced by Western culture and way of life. Hence, the pyramids represents ancient Kemet, the land of the black people. We all know Kemet means black. I hope you know that by now, and a high form of civilization. So he takes us from there, where we were at the point of building pyramids, to where we are now, where we're literally living in projects. The projects basically represents modern day Babylon, the chaos, the protest, and the war. So I highly, highly recommend this book, family, if you want to catch up quickly on everything that has happened, the true damage of what Babylon has done to us. Because I say it's a mental warfare, but if you were to go really deep into that, you would realize how much of a mental warfare it actually is, and how much restoration we have to do, because we're not looking just for the liberation of our lands and the liberation of our people to live happily ever after. We want to get back to the spiritual and mental sophistication of our ancient ones, where they could actually build pyramids. We want to reach that mental capacity from where we are now. And that may seem like a massive feat, because some of the oracles and high priestesses of that time were moving these blocks with their mind. So imagine the mental power and sophistication, family. And that brings me to what I was going to discuss. So special shout out to Greg Holland. Actually, the beautiful photography in the book is done by his wife, Donna. And it's just support the movement, family. Learn a bit. And I always say, get these books in your library. So, family, what I've been getting a lot of questions about is our ancestors. People have been asking me to talk a bit more about our ancestors. A lot of our people, the ones who are still asleep, asking why. What is the point of reconnecting to our ancestors? What is the point of establishing that communion? Because I think a lot of people get mistaken between worshiping the ancestors and communing with them. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day, family. But the importance of the ancestral connection is because the ancestral connection, family, is the only thing that is going to get you out of here. That is the bridge that you need to build from the falling material world to the spiritual world that is being born, that 5D reality that I keep talking about, the 7D reality that I keep saying some of us are on. It is only the ancestors who can get you there. And you see, the reason we connect to our ancestors, who are as much in our bloodline as they are in spiritual form around us, is because when we connect with them, we gain access to their experience, their lives. And this is what gives us our superpowers. Their knowledge comes into our knowledge and it becomes one. So if one of my ancestors was a medicine woman and she healed the nations, if I connect with her, not even if, when I connect with her, I will all of a sudden become a healer where people will approach me and they will tell me of an ailment. And that ancestor will whisper in my ear, family, exactly the solution. And I mean, I can go so deep into this, but I think, I always used to think I was as deeply brainwashed by Babylon as some of you, family. And I always felt I was a healer. And I felt that, to become this herbalist, I would have to now go and take a couple courses here, go take a couple courses there, study all the books, so I got all the different herbs of East Africa, the different medicinal plants and all these books, which I've never opened, family. And in my journey, I met an old, extremely powerful wizard. Unfortunately, he was of the dark arts, but he taught me so much. And one of the greatest lessons he gave me is because he had the gift of healing children. And I realized that, I mean, I'm going on a side, but trust me, family, just stay with me. This is so important. So we acknowledge the ancestors in the wind. We're so honored that they're always with us. So he always had these, a lot of women and children used to be at his shrine. And every time I went to his shrine, actually, I met him in the Gambia. Every time I went to his shrine, there'd be like a dozen women there, all these children running around. And later I realized it was the way that he used to clear his karma for the dark arts that he was practicing that was making him the real money. That's a whole other story. And so, and he really used to heal these women. And so one time I asked him, like, what is the secret to your healing? Like, it must have been so long, because he used to use the moringa oils, the bitter leaf, and he used to make all these combinations of cloves and garlic and this and that. And, so many things, family. And women would really see results from not being able to get pregnant to having children, opening blocked fallopian tubes. And he used to be able to heal the diabetes, the high blood pressure of these worlds, many things. I witnessed this personally. And when I asked him, like, how did he gather all this knowledge? He told me something that totally changed my life as a healer. And he told me how, for every great healer, you always have to heal yourself. That is always the test before you become a healer. And usually whatever you have will either you'll die or you'll heal yourself and become a healer. If you're a true healer, you know what I'm talking about. And he told me that he didn't have, it's not like he had all this knowledge, but he was so connected to his ancestors. And he came from a very long bloodline of healers and herbalists. And they were the ones, whenever a woman would come or a child would come with a certain ailment, they would be surrounding him and they would whisper in his ear about, go to the forest and go to the forest here at this time in the morning, and we will show you what you need. And when he would get to the forest, they would point out, take that root, take the leaves of this tree, take the bark of this. And he would be told whether to boil them or to dry them and make a powder from them. And he would be given all the instructions. And it would work. And once he delivered that healing, there was always an energetic exchange, of course. So that he would be given something, in modern day it's money, but usually it would be a food, a chicken, whatever. And that is what he would now offer to the ancestors that had helped him so that he could keep them energetically here. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. And so this is a big, big secret I'm giving to you guys, family. And the only reason I'm giving it to you is obviously because I'm being allowed to. When you connect to your ancestors, depending on who your ancestors are, there are a lot of millions and billions of people just have regular ancestors. But for us who are the chosen ones, and I might even go as far as to call us, the higher level, because now everyone's thinking they're a chosen one, but the higher level, elite chosen ones. We have ancestors who were there in the days of Egypt. Some of those gods and goddesses, the Sekhmets, the Isis, the Hathors, the Anubis, may have even been our biological ancestors. We may carry their DNA. And so when I first learned of all the different ancestors that existed, by learning our story, by learning about my nation, and then going deeper beyond my nation, beyond the Bantu, to now the gods of Africa, the Orishas of Africa, the goddesses of Africa, and I commune with them, if I have those royal bloodlines, then my ancestors can assist me in becoming a god of my time, or a healer of my time, or a great ruler of my time. And that is why, if we look, for example, at what is happening on the political arena with Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré, 34 years old, the youngest current president in Africa, trailblazing. A lot of people are saying he is the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. I'm going to do a whole episode on that, family, so please definitely make sure you're subscribed to the main channel, Dr. Mumbi Show. But the reason people are saying he is a reincarnation is because he has a supernatural power working with him that is undeniable. Even Putin was like, yo. Because he has tapped into his ancestors. And once you tap into your ancestors and you start connecting with them, you move into living on a spiritual level, which means that certain physical things can't catch you. You almost become immortal, family, because you'll be told when anything is coming against you, when the enemy is launching attack in the material world. Anything that is, either a threat or an advantage for you is highlighted. Your ancestors are the only ones who will protect you. And their reason in protecting you is because if you tap into their bloodlines, a lot of our ancestors' family, as we go further back, were a lot higher than we are right now. Because we should also be asking, why do the ancestors want to connect with us? When we are at the lowest point of our ancestry, when we are like among the dumbest ancestors that have ever existed, or whatever you want to descendants that have ever existed, is because a fragment of them is in us, which means that they can miraculously and supernaturally elevate us back to another level. And that is actually why some of us chosen ones came, because we are those ancient ones. We are those ancestors here in this whole new storyline. But because of that connection, we can move in the miracles and the signs and the wonders of those ancestors. And so connecting with your ancestors is about you gaining more knowledge, gaining more truth, gaining more sovereignty and power over your life, because a lot of you are slaves to the system. A lot of you don't even control who you are. It's only your ancestors who can help reverse the brainwashing and keep it reversed. Sometimes when we try to re-educate ourselves on our own, we may relapse because religion is literally possession, family. A lot of the things that have happened to us is almost like a possession. It's like another being possessing ours. And so the ancestors are the only ones who can help you make a permanent reversal to who you were. And also now access other gifts that will really help you to shine in this time, in this world, and to live the life that you want, whether it's as a baller, whether it's as a person who has love, as a person who is healthy and known in the community, whatever your area of desire is, just know that that is also the area of your gifting, and that's where your ancestors can help you to become victorious. If you'd like me to talk more about the ancestors, or if you have specific questions, definitely leave them in the comments or reach out to us, Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. Definitely check out Greg Holland's book, Trying Times, From the Pyramids to the Projects, where he really helps to explain how we fell from architects of the pyramids to the lowly beings we are now, where we're barely able to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, even understand what's going on. Knowledge is power, family. And knowledge is what is changing the game. So definitely keep yourselves informed. All the necessary links are below. And if you would like to advertise with us, family, and reach a very unique audience, reach out. Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. Tuko pamoja.